Welcome to the Maritime Monthly podcast. I'm Joedian Munroe, Internal Communications Lead at the Caribbean Maritime University. This month, we're exploring our theme from ideas to impact and discovering how the right guidance, mentorship, and determination are helping turn ideas into businesses that create opportunities, strengthen industry, and contribute to national development. Today, I have with me Dualia Taylor, a past student of the CMU and a young and thriving entrepreneur who recently came through CMU's SPDC. So, tell us about yourself and tell us about your business.
So I am a past student of the Caribbean Maritime University, of course. I graduated since year, which graduation would have been last year. I pursued my degree in customs processes, freight forwarding, and immigration. Fun fact, because of the whole storm and thing last year, I almost could not walk across the stage to collect my degree. So because of this storm, I know that it was a bad thing for some persons, but it actually worked out in my favor because from October last year, I was really hospitalized at KPH because I was diagnosed with an autoimmune condition, and the doctors couldn't find out what was wrong. No matter what type of treatment they gave me, it wouldn't work. So they tested me on a daily basis, and every time graduation was coming up, I usually asked the question, would I be able to be out to graduate on time? And the answer that I always got was no, it is not promising. So at this point, I was there for a month, and graduation was drawing closer and closer. And then I heard about Melissa, and I was like, God, please, please make some work out for me. And I actually spent the storm in the hospital. And when graduation was pushed back, I was actually relieved for a second. And the graduation was pushed back until January. So I got enough time to prepare for graduation and to get myself together to walk across the stage and collect my degree.
Okay, nice. We know that we're not wishing that the hurricane, but I can understand, being able to walk across the stage and celebrate your achievement. So tell us about your business. What do you do? What type of business do you have? What's the name of your business?
Okay, so I've been doing business from I was 16 years old. My first business was named Chinesities. How I came up with that name, I definitely don't remember or whatever, but I know that it was Chinesities. I started off with selling like Yoni care, boric acid, yoni wash, yoni oil, yoni steam herbs, and everything for the feminine, for the feminine
Hygiene.
parts, right? Feminine hygiene. So while I was in that field, I realized that females rather, were skeptical about the type of things that they used in their intimate areas. And at that time, those products were just coming on the market. So I said, all right, then cool. I guess this is not for me. And I took a break, and then there came Taylor's Skin Looks JA, where at this point I was attending the CMU and I heard of the small business development, that department. And I got the business registered, and there I went from selling my turmeric kojic acid face soaps and turmeric honey face soaps as well. At that time, I was using a manufacturer, a supplier rather, so I wasn't really in tune with my products that I sold. I was solely relying on information given to me by the supplier. And because I wanted to feel more in tune with my business, the ingredients, and feel more connected to it, I said, you know what? I'm going to put a pause to it. But I'm not going to lie, I made a pretty decent amount of money from that business because I think the first week that I launched, I got like 50 sales completely sold out. And at the time, I wasn't running any ads. I was solely depending on persons that knew me. So the support was there from classmates, people from the CMU, on campus. And most of the students at CMU actually know me from handing out my flyers. So each business that I started, I would usually go around the CMU handing out flyers and interacting with the different persons on campus. So with that type of interaction, plus I was running for student union positions. The first position that I ran for was the customs representative position. And because of that interaction from the business aspect of it, I got acquainted with most of the students, and most of the students got acquainted with me. So I won that election fair. And it was the same thing for the vice president of academics. But at that time, in 2024, when I was running for that position, that's where tailor-made career actually started, because I bought my first bike with the money from work and travel. And that is where tailor-made career came from, from again. And the small business development, we went through a business plan, and we got the business registered and all of that. So we moved forward. The business had to be closed down because of some issues relating to the bike and all of that. So again, I wouldn't classify that as a failure, but time to learn, readjust, and to come again stronger. So the plan for that business from the get-go was to start up doing delivery and then divulge in the courier aspect of it. So when I got a feel of the whole delivery part, I said, all right, then cool, when I'm coming back on the market, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to change. And I already got the feel from it and to know the do's and the don'ts. Because without honesty, I made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes from that business. So
definitely a part of the process.
Right. And I did not tell myself that I failed. That is one of the things I can say about the whole business thing, because as I said, I'm coming all the way from Chinesities and I'm a tailor-made now. So I use all of those opportunities to learn, gain knowledge, and to come back stronger.
Okay. So just going back a little bit, just for our audience, tell us what tailor-made careers is exactly. So for somebody who listening, but they might not be sure, they have an idea of what you're talking about, just to be more pointed, what is tailor-made career? What services, what do you offer to your customers?
All right, so tailor-made career services. We are a courier company rather, that ship 5 times weekly. Our rate starts from $6.50. We are only focusing on air freight. So as long as it's Shein, Amazon, any of those little online platforms that you guys shop on. And for this summer, we actually have a deal where we're combining 2 packages below £1 for $9.99.
Okay. All right. So basically, you are in the business of bringing in online shipments. So
Yes.
Anybody who is shopping online, you can bring their packages here and they can collect it from you. Okay, so I know you had started to talk about it, but just pulling back a little bit, when you started this business, or the businesses that you were doing while you were at the CMU, what challenges were you facing?
Some of the challenges that I faced when I started is lack of research, lack of information. So most of the mistakes that I had made, if I had done proper research, I wouldn't have made those mistakes. So with tailor-made career 2.0, I'd say, I ensured that I did the necessary research and, to try to limit the amount of mistakes that, was going to be made. I did make mistakes, but in comparison to where I'm coming from, I'd say those are minor.
Okay. And so along your journey, along your process, I know you would have mentioned that the SBDC would have been helping you along the way. So I'd want to ask, how did the CMU SBDC Business Center, how did that come into your journey? At what point along your journey, did they come in?
All right. So I think the email was sent out to students regarding that if you have a small business, we have support here for the school. Immediately after I saw that email, I started to ask, where can I find this? Where can I find that? And that is where I met Miss McFarlane, and she brought me out. Well, I had a lot of ideas. I can say that I had plenty ideas, and she narrowed it down for me because at the time I was here and there, and I wanted to do everything. Right. So she narrowed it down and said, like, what do you love the most? What do you think you want to be in long term? And because I still have a passion for logistics, I narrowed it down to tailor-made career and Taylor Skin Locks JA, where I'd specialize in my skincare and specialize in the logistics field. And there she went from getting me getting help with the business plan, getting the business registered, and giving me the necessary guidance to go forward.
Okay, all right, great. So you've kind of started already, but if you could go deeper for us, what changed in your business? What changed in your journey as you were working with and after, even to this point, working with the center?
All right. So when I was working on by myself, it was really a guess and spell thing. But after I got, in contact with the center and Miss McFarlane, I got the right guidance and said that this is the first step, this is the second step. But like how somebody operate that has ADHD, that's how I usually operate before meeting her. So I would start at 1 point, then go on a 0.5, then come back to 0.3. So it was kind of all over the place. So after I met her, I got some form of structure, right, to work with, and that actually helped me going forward.
Okay. And did you have a win in business that making use of the SBDC helped you to achieve that win?
Oh yes, dealing with customers, I got that talk. Dealing with the different personalities and all of that, because really and truly this business that I started, it has been so intertwined with myself I really have to evaluate, because when I tell you some customers come to test your soul, they really come to test your every ligament in your body. So with the guidance from her, like, regarding customer service and how to deal with the different issues and not to, well, and how to structure the messages, because I have to laugh, because sometimes the frustration that you want to take out on the customers, you cannot take it out because you have to look on gaining loyal customers, customer retention, and all of that. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So if you could describe it, where is your business now? Having worked at the SBDC, you've graduated, you have gone on your own, how is your business now?
Right. So combined with the help from SBDJ and my determination, hard work, and motivation, I'd actually say my business is elevating as it should. I did not expect such a jump because I recently started in February. I don't think that has been 7 months. And the volume that I have, I really have to wonder what if I had just given up on business and she was there to push and motivate me. And she would also message me 1 and 2 times, Taylor, what's up with this? Taylor, what's up with that? Even sometimes when I was genuinely feeling like, I'm gonna scarlet quits. And she was there. The business is at a very good position right now, but it needs more marketing, more structure, right? And there she is going to help as well, because we liaison, even though we don't get to talk every day, because life happens sometimes. And so we are currently trying to get our first vehicle, and this is where tailor-made one, well, the
2.0.
first, right? Not 2.0, but the first.
One, tailor-made 1.0.
Right.
Okay.
That's where he would have come back in, because the moment we achieve getting our first vehicle, we're going to turn that into our delivery system. So we're going to channel all deliveries through that, bringing in a second income for our business, plus elevating the business to another level.
All right. So I would have to ask, what is one gem that you got from partnership with SBDC? that this is something that you carry forward into your business on a daily basis. It's something that if you met another entrepreneur and they needed some advice, you would just pass that on to them.
Don't rely on persons to put effort in your business. Put all the effort that you can in it, because without your effort, your business cannot grow. Can't solely rely on persons telling you what to do, because persons are not actually in the, what I say now, in the midst of it. They're only looking from the outside. So you can't just take assumption from person telling you how to do your business. If this is something that you truly want, sit yourself down or find the necessary persons to help you and to guide you with creating the necessary structure for your business. Because if you're selling one space out for $1,500, you know that your product actually work. Somebody comes and say, so me find this a product and somebody else sell it for $1,000, will make your price a $1,500. Stand on what you know and trust and believe in your product or your service, because they might be selling it for $1,000, yes, but what comes behind it? Do they have customer service? What comes behind all of that? So you know that your product is good, your product is $1,500, and you have exceptional customer service. Once you pay, you don't have to worry if your product is going to be shipped out. Good communication. Their soap might be good for the first 2 days, your skin break out the next 3-4 days. So it's actually, stand on what you believe in and believe in your product or your service.
Okay, all right. So for the next 5 years, if you look sort of in the future, when you look into the future and say, all right, 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? Where do you see your business?
Well, for the next 5 years, I see myself among the elites, and I see a branch of my business in every single parish across Jamaica, knowing that tailor-made career service is here to stay and is here for everybody.
Okay. All right. Great. So nice to have you with us today, Dualia. And thank you. Thank you for sitting with us and talking to us today.
It's a pleasure being your guest on this podcast. Hopefully I'm here, more often.
All right.